If you're sick of having an Adobe subscription, editing photos, maybe actually exporting a photo, now you have a duplicate, the original and the edited, and you have all the mess of trying to wrangle up files on your computer, some are on your phone, some are on a drive, and you just want a better way to edit photos and deal with them and then share them online and not have 20 different versions or places and just have one place that kind of handles everything super simply for free, basically. I want to tell you about a way that I've changed my complete change of approach towards photography and particularly the post production of it and sharing it and editing it and everything. So, first thing, you have to be open minded to watch this video because you're not going to like some of the things because they'll go against the way that I've always done it, but not the better way. And you have to be willing to be like, well, maybe, because once I started thinking differently about everything, and I'm going to tell you everything, I'm going to show you everything, you'll realize that you might be like, damn it, it's better that way. And that's what I wanted. I just have a hard time to let go of how I've always done it. And then you're happier. So what I want to explain is the way that we usually do it really quickly is we take a photo. It's on a hard drive. Let's just say we're using a camera. We take a photo. It's on the memory chip. We put it on our computer. We upload to the hard drive of the computer and then say edit in Lightroom or whatever. And now if you're editing Lightroom mobile, then it also goes on Adobe's cloud, but it's also on your hard drive. If you're doing Lightroom Classic, or if you want to have a raw file for long storage, client work, stuff like that. And then when you edit it, you export that from the software to the hard drive, to the phone, to social media. So let's say you just had a picture of a beautiful sunset and you want to put that on Instagram stories where it's not really worth that whole round trip of stuff. You end up using your phone and you take it and then you're like, good. But if you want to still have the craft of the photography, this is the fix for you because it really, really, it's just magical. So what we're going to do is eliminate all of those steps as a concept, this linear flow, and look at it like kind of like a puppet master, a web instead of a road. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. And we use Google Photos as like this hub. So you're going to replace iCloud. You're going to replace Adobe. You're going to get rid of Adobe. That's what sparked this. And that's a whole nother conversation, another video I'm going to get into. But here we are. And I'm just going to say, let's say I took a photo and it automatically updates to Google Photos. Okay, so let's just say it's this. This is just a raw photo. There's nothing special about it. Like there's no edit. Okay, now normally what we would do is we would go into Lightroom and put our preset on it and blah, 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 which is fair. And I'm going to get to a point of like figuring out the preset part of it, like, because we want our own look. But what if you let go of that and said, you know what, actually in the end, the way that it is perfect. But somehow digital cameras kind of ruin that. Well, with Google Photos, if you take all your photos and say it's from your phone and you just upload to Google Photos and then delete it off your phone or whatever, now your photo lives on one place, Google Photos. That's the key. That is the massive unlock, is put everything on one thing. I like Google Photos because the reasons I'm going to explain. It's because they keep updating the photo editing inside Google Photos so that you can do so many things. Let's just say I want to edit it just regular. Okay. Now it's going to give me like some basic things, but in the corner you see whatever. And then lighting, you have all your basic Lightroom stuff. You have some color stuff, and these are actually really powerful. You have a couple basic filters, which I think are totally fair. Like these are okay. Like they're good. Like honey is my favorite. These front three are my favorite. That's if you want to get to the point of editing. Now, you also have like background pop. We'll talk about that in a second. But then you have this AI enhance, and this is the key. This is what you want to start thinking. It's like, well, what is the point of what I'm trying to do here in this photo? I want the sky to pop. I want to enhance. Do I want to change something? So there's somebody in the bottom of this photo, and I actually like that. But for the example, I'm going to circle that person. And once I'm going to grab it, and I'll just say, you know, remove this person, please. I'm going to send that. And now, instead of dealing with the actual operational part of removing a photo in Photoshop, generative fill, or clone stamp or whatever, I just have this, and now it's done. So we have it removed two options, one with a bench removed and one with just the person. I'm just going to get rid of it just for demo's sake. Now, things aren't perfect, but they're getting better and better every time. Like every other month, I see stuff getting better. Now, it's still in this AI edit mode. Now, I can just save it and then keep going, but let's say I want to say, I would love to really have much more of a purple violet glow radiating from that horizon line where that sun is setting, leaking into the clouds and in the reflection. Can we enhance and add a little bit more of that violet magenta? Now, I don't know how well of a good job this is going to do, but the whole point is trying to tell it what I want to do instead of actually do it. And AI is going to be my editor. Now, it might bosh this whole photo. And I know you're thinking like, whatever, like this is going to be terrible. Here we go. So it did a little bit. I don't know what it's doing with all this stuff, but here's a acceptable one. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't do well, but I generally don't use this, but it's getting better and better and better. So I'm going to go back out really quick and then just say, let me go back to tools. So, oops. Okay. So I'm going to just go to lighting and I'll just say, let's start doing a quick edit. Actually, let's do some highlights. And I'm just tapping the words. Bring those to pop. That's good enough. I think you'll get the idea. Maybe a little HDR. See if that does anything. So the idea is to use Google Photos as an editor. And I know that this demo is never going to do it justice, but when you're playing around with it, you're going to realize it's really actually good. It's just, death by demo almost always. So sky styles, let's see what happens if I do. There we go, afterglow. That's actually what I was looking for. Kind of wanted more of that magenta. Person's removed. I'm going to hit check. This is if I wanted to at all. I can just do one or whatever, right? Now I can also have actions here, right? So I can make it pop. Okay, cool. Let me check that off. Now, here's the key is because I'm editing on the cloud, let's say this is good. I can save it. Let me save it. I'll save as a copy because now I can manage, but I can also save over it and have it non-destructive. Right down here in the bottom, I can do all my album organizations, but I can also share straight to Instagram as a story. Okay. So I can just hit story and then bam, and then I can just do whatever I do, right? And just share as usual. Now, this thinking, forget what I just did and like the nuances of it. The thinking here is that you no longer use hard drives. If you can understand this, where you take all of your photography and things like that, and you just immediately put it to the cloud, edit to the cloud, share from the cloud. Now, when I go and I pull up Google Photos here, right? And it's already on there exactly as I was editing it. I can also just share from here. I don't have to share from the iPad. I can do so many things, and it just echoes, and it's lightning quick. You know, the Lightroom system doesn't echo over for the cloud very well. It's brilliant. Now, I don't know of any other system that stores photos, crushes the the size of them to make it make sense for Google, but it's also Google's Drive section. So if you want to keep it at a raw file or a large file uncompressed, you can as well. I personally see zero difference between the high compression space saving and then whatever it is, it's 5 times smaller than the size, which again, less hard drive space than say Lightroom's cloud or iCloud if you're doing things on your phone. It's brilliant system. Now, the best part of all of this is you just have one place to manage all your photos, Google Photos. And here's the thing is once you start thinking this way, you start realizing that there's probably a lot of opportunities once you start hunting around for a cloud-based web system. So I really think that the best one right now is Google Photos. So for instance, if I said, I want to create a collage, it's a bunch of stuff. So let's say I want that one editing, this, and that. I can say create. I can do swap outs, whatever. It's just whatever. And here we go. Now I have a collage. I can do something like this. I can quickly just have some style to it. But again, in real time, this is super easy. I could have edited all these really quick. You know, I can just edit, say I want to make this black and white. Oops, wrong button. Filter. I'll make it black and white. Let's see. Yeah, so Onyx. So I'll say done. I'll make this one. Continue. Filters. You can see how I can work a lot faster because everything, again, is all in one place. The collage maker, as well as the photo storage. And you can start kind of understanding where my head's at. Like you're like, okay, that makes total sense. So now I have this thing. I guess that's one more. Just might as well finish it. So now all I have to do is save it. I could have actually saved the whole thing, like all of the collage as a separate thing and done a black and white on that. But either way, I can just share from here straight to Instagram and I'm good. Now, again, I can also undo a bunch of stuff, right? So there you go. I think that this way that thinking about photography and your editing system and where it's stored and storage costs and subscriptions and all that. If you have a Google Gmail, you have Google Photos. If you have a workspace, you have a giant drive, likely not used. And then if you use high compression for the photo settings, where you do backup, manage storage. You also have your cleanup tools, and you can also plug in Drive and all of that with the Claude, and you can find duplicates. You can do all of these things that just once you understand that you can have this master brain for the cloud, much more substantial of a system that works for you, you can really navigate this really well. And let's say I go back to this. I want to show you this key point here. Right there is this 175 items to delete. Now my device has these things on them, and I can immediately say, okay, let's back up all these files, and it will automatically delete them from my iPad and put them onto just the Google Drive. So I do that with my phone as well as the iPad or wherever. And again, it's just another way to get things off the device and go, nope, if it's off the device, then it's on Google Photos. And you know for sure that everything is one place. I have been building albums and messing with Google Photos for a long time, and I'm telling you, this is a key change. And if you get over the fact that you're the one who has to edit every little thing, you're going to be behind in the way things will move forward. You have to let go of the control and start thinking of what would what is it that AI can do to actually help me and save me time? What can I let go of and let it be maybe not the perfect filter, but a filter that makes it feel closer? And yes, I'm working on a way to get my color look my into the thing. So the thing that I'm doing right now to get the template that I really want in the photos is I shoot with no fusion camera on my iPhone. This is just for general thing. And I'm trying to get my Lightroom preset onto my camera, so I bake it into that like a Fujifilm recipe. So you get it right in camera. You shouldn't need to edit it at all. Maybe a little contrast and so on, which is in Google Photos. And that's the key, the big thing. Hopefully you guys all made it this far in the video. Shoot it right in camera, make minor tweaks and share and have the whole cloud your storage. And then as far as like, I want to, no fusion camera on your phone can do LUTs. So you can really make a really high powered look that's very cinematic. At least I want cinematic, or, beautiful in a sense that you can't do with Lightroom. So I'm a big proponent of this whole system. I've basically invented it. I don't know anybody who's doing this. I think it's phenomenal, and I highly suggest looking at it. I'm canceling my Adobe next month, finally, and I'm going to use Affinity when I need a powerhouse of the design, Illustrator, and Photoshop, if I ever need to do really particular stuff. And then I'm going to use Descript for my video. And then if I also want to use, very comfortable color and make stuff, I'll use Resolve for the new photo stuff, which they will make a mobile app eventually. But yeah, so all I'm really paying for, one-time fee for no Fusion camera app, and then my Google Drive and my workspace. It's awesome. And then also, here's the last thing that I want you to think about too, is I have this M1 Max, okay? And it's a really good powerhouse of a computer. It's a little old, but it's still better than a lot of the new things. I was like, well, which computer will I get next? Like this Pro version or this or that? Well, if I'm doing all my photography on the cloud, so all the processing is just in Google servers and all that stuff, I don't need a strong computer. I don't, because you can do all this stuff on the computer too, just about. And same with using Descript for my video editor. Like, hold on, I can do all this with my phone. So all of my devices can be really cheap, old, crappy devices. They don't need to be powerful because they're just remote controls to something else that's powering the editing and the processing and everything. So I could literally be on an old Nokia editing my photos if I could make that connection, right? And it would edit just as fast. Like, that's the kind of thinking. So that your devices no longer need to be good. You don't even have to, like, my next phone is going to be the iPhone Air because it's skinny and light, and I just don't need anything. I don't need it to be a super powerhouse, and it's going to be incredible. And then same with my next computer. I'm thinking getting the Neo. I don't need anything. I put my video straight into Descript. It goes up to the cloud on Descript. I delete it off of my computer, all of the things. And if I wanted to keep it on a hard drive, I could, but I would just digress. I could get way into this more. If you want to hear more about the details, let me know. I'm very excited about this whole train of thought. I've been testing this for a while now, like not the photo section, that for like three months now, but the video side for like over a year. So I hope you like this. I hope this inspires you to think a little bit more extreme minimalist around your photography. Let go of the total control, and I think you're going to be really happy. Till next time. Peace.